What's your name?
Hi, I'm Caroline.
Caroline, where are you from?
I'm from Argyle.
Okay, and here's Caroline's question.
I guess this is for anyone. I read The Fault in Our Stars before I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma in January. And afterward, the story took on an even greater meaning for me. How do you hope that this story affects those who are struggling with cancer and trying to find the beauty in living again?
So, what I'd say in answer to that, and I want them to answer too, but what I would say is that the most important thing about the story to me is that no one walk on eggshells around you because being sick can be so socially isolating. So you're dealing with this physical illness, but at the same time, you're dealing with people who are really uncomfortable. They don't know what to say to you. They don't know what to ask, and that's really, really hard. It makes it harder. And my hope is that through this story and other stories like it, people will see that people who are living with illness are people. You know, that they aren't fundamentally other from other people.
And it doesn't define
your life is just as meaningful and valuable and full of love and hope and joy and fear and anger and all the stuff that everybody else feels. And that your disease has not in any way changed that or taken any of that away from you, and it never came.
This is for Shay, Nat, and Ansel. And so, how is your experience on set affected by the presence of the lovely John Green?
We're going to be here for 5 more hours because we have a lot to say.
He was so important to me figuring out who Gus was, just because John Green, in my opinion, is sort of Gus. The way,
but less hot.
Oh, come on now, John Green.
But no, like his wit, his intelligence, the way he cares for others. I really saw Gus in John, and he really helped me understand who Gus was just by hanging out with him. I think if John hadn't been on set, I would have had a much harder time bringing Gus to life. So I'm always thank him for it. But in front of thousands of people, so it's official. Thank you.
For me, John Green is single-handedly, other than my mom, actually, my mom is pretty much like this as well, but other than her, you are the most empathetic, compassionate, I've told you all this before, but compassionate person I've ever met in my life. And when John looks at you, he doesn't just see you and he doesn't just hear you, he's there with you. He shares the same soul with you for a minute because he is looking dead into your soul and your spirit, and he is giving you everything. And then when you respond, he absorbs it and then responds again. And I've never met another human being who has the capacity to do that. Even right now, the way you're looking at me, you are so with me right now. That's a rarity. I learned so much from it. Sometimes when I'm listening to somebody, I'm like, I'm listening to you, but I have no idea what you're saying. And I think a lot of us do that. And I never have ever felt that with you, and I've never observed you do that with anyone else. And also, you're so brilliant, and your ability to be there for other people is completely out of this world. You teach me something each and every day, whether I'm around you or not.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
This is great. It's just like the movie. We're all crying.
I just feel this is, I mean, I think. No, John, you mean so much to me, seriously. I really do feel like John is
Superhuman.
one of my best friends, and I really feel like in the last year I've gotten such an education from being around him, just like these guys, and I really love these three people. So.
You also do so much. It kind of boggles my mind. I'm like, how do you have time to even brush your teeth? Because you do so much.
That's gross.
Seriously, where?
So we have another fan question here. What's your name and where are you from?
My name is Catherine and I'm from Kerrville, Texas.
And your question is?
My question is actually for my friend Austin. He gave me my question kind of like Gus gave Hazel her wish, but his question is, while auditioning for Hazel, what did you do to stand out to the casting director? And this is for Shailene.
Ooh,
I can answer that too because I
you
watched
should
the
probably answer
audition.
because I don't really remember exactly maybe what I did.
She did. You don't remember what you did? Seriously?
Auditions are so crazy because you go in and your heart's pounding so fast that when you leave, you're like, wow, all I heard is my heart pound for 5 minutes, and that's kind of it. But
She did 2 scenes, but the scene that I saw first was the eulogy, the Some Infinities Are Bigger Than Other Infinities eulogy. And she was like, I'd seen that eulogy performed by many hundreds of very talented actresses, but like 4 words into it, I was like, I can't believe I replied to that very nice email from Shailene Woodley that she sent me months ago saying, that's all very nice, but I'm not a casting director. And I was like, oh God, what do we have to do? And I called the producer. I mean, it was just so beautiful. She sounded like Hazel. I mean, she was Hazel. She had become Hazel for me immediately, and has been the sort of visual manifestation of Hazel for me ever since. Really, without fail, everything that she said, and she even had the kind of pattern of speech down, like it sounded in my mind, like almost like a supernatural ability to like understand this person that I had imagined. But the most amazing thing to me was what was happening in her eyes when she wasn't talking, like in the little pauses when she was gathering herself. She was looking, this sounds weird to say, but her eyes were doing the things that the book was trying to do with words. It was weird. I don't know how you do that. She's got weird, crazy, talented eyes. And yeah, so like I watched the end of the audition, I called the producer of the movie and I was like, what do we have to do to get her to do it? Like, should I call her? Should I go to her house? Should I? And he was like, don't do any of those things. We'll deal with it.
thanks, John.
Question, what's your name and where are you from?
I'm Sabrina and I'm from McKinney, Texas.
Nice. And
You and a lot of
Love
people.
you.
And what's your question?
Society puts a lot of emphasis on women and their hair. How hard was it for you to cut all your hair off?
Oh man, I love this question.
It's a great question.
It's such a great question. So I'm just gonna ramble for a second. I for a long time had really long hair because I have Native American roots and I thought it was like this cool sort of strength for like a woman to have long hair and to grow it out. And according to like Native American tradition, hair was a symbol of strength and of power and of like commitment to self. And so for a long time, that's why I never cut my hair. And then this opportunity came about and it was so beautiful for me. And I was like, wow, I'm kind of being selfish hogging all this hair. And the fun thing about hair is if most of the time, if you're lucky, it grows back, which is kind of funny, that it has the ability to do that. So I thought it would be really neat to cut my hair and to give it to somebody who maybe didn't have the ability to grow it back. And then the super cool thing, which if you haven't heard about this yet, maybe I'd ask you to consider today, is we did this, Fox and John and a few other people came together and started this thing called Hair for Hazel, which basically we sent out through social media, encouraging others around, I guess, the world. Social media is crazy that way. Around the world to do the same thing if they felt willing to cut their hair. So it was really liberating for me, and now I feel like I'll never have long hair again because it's so much fun to have short hair. But if you do have long hair and you don't feel that attached to it and you want to like go on a little hair adventure, cut it off and donate it to some amazing company.
All right, I think we got like 2 more.